Welcome to Clicks and Bricks Podcast. We talk about the entrepreneur mindset.
If you get one shot at this, what kind of shot are you going to take?
If we forget who we are, they're going to forget who you are.
You've got an adversity story that's out of this world.
Everything from that Main Street brick and mortar to that billion-dollar manufacturer.
Welcome back to Clicks and Bricks. Today I'm talking with Brandon Barnum. He is from HOA.com, but today we're going to be talking about referrals. Brandon, how are you doing today?
Oh, brother, bless beyond belief. Happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Thank you so much for joining us. We're excited to learn your story and more about referrals and different ways for us to earn new sources of revenue, really, right? I don't want to say passive revenue, but before we get into the questions, Brandon, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and kind of what makes you the entrepreneur you are today?
Oh, man. Okay. Origin story time, Ken. I am a lifelong marketer. I grew up, I went to college, got a marketing degree, found out in college that you don't have to be married to have a kid. So at 22, I had my first child with a woman that I'd been dating for about a week. And at 24, I got full custody. So I was a single dad at 24. I was making 20 grand a year at that point in time. And so I wasn't making enough to pay for the mortgage on the house I had just bought and the daycare bills. And so I had to make a change. I ended up getting in the mortgage industry. And thankfully, I had somebody that kind of mentored me in the art and science of now what I call raving referrals. And it helped me 10x my income in 18 months from 20 grand to $200,000 a year. And it changed my life. From there, I've done hundreds, over $500 million in closed transactions personally through referrals and partnerships. And HOA.com is my 10th tech platform over the last 28 years. My last one we built to 5 million members and then sold off. And then I started HOA.com. So here we are.
Wow, that's impressive. 24, single dad.
Oh,
and
man.
Starting a company.
Well, back then I wasn't. Back then I was just trying to figure out, I was going from the single life and having a ball to all of a sudden I'm in charge of a human being that's playing with a ball.
Yeah, I waited. I was 31 when I had my first kid. And
okay,
I did it the old fashioned way. I got married first and all that fun stuff.
Nice.
So it's been a lot of fun.
I recommend that path if you can choose.
I recommend any path that puts children in your life.
Amen. That's true.
However you get there. It doesn't really matter.
That's true.
It's the most rewarding and devastating thing you'll ever do as a human.
That's great. So true.
Awesome. So you're grinding, you're young, you're grinding, and you figure out what was the click on understanding, hey, I'm doing this business, I'm in real estate, a lot of small business owners, and I feel like the world's going to be littered with new entrepreneurs over the next 10 years in a way that we've never seen before. And this referral process, it's a process that you have to put into your business. And it's one that so many people lose or forget, right? So they're afraid to ask. There's just all this kind of psychology wrapped around the referral world. What was it that clicked for you to say, I'm gonna figure out how to get more referrals. This is how to do it.
So when I first got started, I was working for a bank, a mortgage bank, and I was seated next to this guy that had zero personality. Like if there was negative EQ, this guy would have qualified, right? And I would sit here, listen to this guy on the phone, and I'm like, this guy has just no spark. But yet he got loans like crazy. And so I asked him, what's the secret to your success? How is it that you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars per year? Because he just sat there and answered his phone. And, he basically said, look, I've created referral partnerships. I have these realtors and other professionals that send business to me. And I'm like, okay, that's what I've got to master. So from then I went out and I talked to, most of his business came from realtors. So the lesson here is no matter what business you're in, find out who's already serving your perfect prospects, your ideal clients, right? Because there's a world out there where people need your help and you can be the solution to the challenge that their clients bring to them, right? So that's the end of the net of it is find out how you can solve other people's problems and be the solution that they're recommending every single time. For me, it was mostly real estate agents. Why? Because they had families that were buying homes. They needed financing to close the deal. So it was a natural synergistic relationship. So what I did is I went to top producing real estate agents and I said, what do you need the most help with? What would add the most value to your business and your life? And guess what? It had nothing to do with mortgages. They wanted more business, man. Their number one challenge was that they needed more clients and opportunities. So I went, okay, if that's my challenge and that's their challenge, and if I can help them solve their challenge, they're going to solve my challenge. So I went to work to figure out how to help them win more business, knowing that every client and customer that they would get would be referred back to me.
Lead sharing is what we
Yeah.
called it back in the day,
Yeah, man.
right?
I'm
We called
literally
it.
writing a book right now called Profit Partners. That's my next book. I've got 4 books all on raving referrals right now. I've got another one coming out next month, and I've got 2 more coming out later this year. So I'll have 7 raving referrals series books by the end of this year. And what I'm doing is I'm doing them specifically for different industry, right? So whether you're a mortgage pro or you're a real estate agent, we're creating books for the different industries because my mentor is Mark Victor Hansen of Chicken Soup for the Soul. And so he said,
Okay.
don't just write a book, build a brand. My
Yes.
next book is called Profit Partners. And that's what I was working on this morning before we came into this conversation. And I've surveyed thousands of people. And what I know is that 32% of all the thousands of people we've surveyed have 0 referral partners. Nobody that's sending them only one opportunity every 90 days. I call that the lone wolf syndrome. All right, they're out there all by themselves and they wonder why they don't have more business. We've got another 47% that have 1 or 2 partners. So between the lone wolves and these guys, they're kind of still in the lone wolf category. That's 79% of people that have 2 or less referral partners for lead sharing, right? Lead sharing. And so what we know is that it's kind of the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people know they should be doing it. They don't know how to get started. And then we've got the 20% that are doing it, but out of that 20%, only 10% of them or 2% of the whole have 10 or more referral partners. And those people are crushing it. They're making on average over $250,000 a year because they got all the business they can handle.
So you say referral partners. When we first jumped into this, I thought we were talking about something a little bit different than what we're talking about. And I'm excited. So I think the traditional, one of the things that I do is I own a gym. And I know that the referral process is one of the first things that falls apart when I'm not looking really close, right? And it has to do first with the guest referrals, right? The who's in your house referrals. But what you're talking about more specifically is referral partners, which is an entirely different kind of a marketing strategy.
Yes.
When should a company go from the thought process of I'm going to take my current clients and create a referral program for them? When should I split that egg and go out and start looking for other referral processes as well?
Yeah, great question, Ken. And there's 3 primary sources of referrals. First, it's your clients and customers. That's where you thought we were going. We absolutely should spend time there and talk about the art of the ask because most people don't know how to ask their clients and customers for business. So clients and customers should be first and foremost. You got to have a system and a process to win more business from the people that already love your service. So that's number 1. Second is your social sphere. Everybody that's on social media following you, plus everybody that's in your phone and in your life. Anyone that gets to know you, they like you, they trust you, they'll refer you if you help them, right? And you've got to give the gift of you, make yourself easy to refer. These are all things we teach in the raving referral system, but that's second. So clients and customers, social sphere, and then number 3 is complementary businesses and professionals. Who's already serving my perfect prospects and how can I add value to them and be the solution they're recommending when their clients are looking for my services? So 3 different buckets, all 3 are important. Your question just now is in what order? I would say number 1, start with your clients and customers because they can give you business right now. But that category, that bucket of complementary businesses, that's leverage, man. That's the great multiplier because if you've only got a few hundred clients that you've served over your career, you've got a smaller opportunity. Whereas if you partner with someone that's got thousands or hundreds of thousands or millions of clients, they can rocket ship your business quickly.
Absolutely.
So both are important. Yeah.
The referral partners are something that those can be life-changing deals.
That's right.
If you hit the right one. So, but
And you
you
only
just
need
said the
one.
art of the ask. What's
You only
that?
need one. Honestly, one person can completely transform your life.
Absolutely. So keep asking. You said art of the ask, and I've curated a specific question for the art of the ask. But before I ask
Cool.
that question, I just want to talk about it for a
Yep.
little bit, because I want to talk about that because I've been trained so many ways to do this.
Cool.
And I know exactly when it falls apart. When you tell your staff, here's your onboarding form, and at the very end of it, you're going to ask them, who are 5 people that I can call and harass about buying my services? This is how it always goes. And the staff just stops doing it, right?
Right. Right.
because they don't know how to do that well. And I would say it's the person that created the process's fault for that. But what are some ways that you can ask the customer for a referral that's not this robotic? Who
Yeah.
are 5 people that that I can call and ask them if they want to buy my service?
Okay, we're going to take this in 3 parts, and you might want to write this down. We're going to talk about the art of the ask. This is how you actually ask people for referrals, how you weave it into the conversation. Then we're going to talk about automating the ask. In a case like yours, you're running a business. It's not just you asking for referrals. You want your entire team and your culture to automatically ask for referrals, right? Yep. And let's start with there, because that'll take us through most of this, and then we've got co-marketing campaigns we can talk about. But the art of the ask starts with you seeding the conversation. And what we know is that most people feel awkward and uncomfortable asking for referrals themselves. And the reason is, Ken, because they feel like they're having to sell rather than serve. So they're here instead of here. They're in the wrong mindset. So the first thing that we do is help them understand, look, you got to change the way that you're thinking about this. If you really believe that your service or your product is going to make a difference and change somebody's life or help them live a better life, man, you owe it to yourself and to them to give the gift of you, right? So rather than thinking about yourself and the money you're going to make, focus on the difference that you're going to make in your client and customer. Okay. So it starts with mindset. Now, once we got our mind right, what we want to do is we want to feel confident and comfortable. And most people ask for referrals the wrong way at the wrong time. What's the right time? The right time is right when they've decided to choose to use you. You want to set the stage. And this is step number 1. There's 3 steps in the art of the ask. Set the stage is number 1. Listen for the referral triggers is number 2. And then ASK to GET is number 3. When we first have a client, let's take your example of a gym. And I haven't done this example, so this will be fun for both of us, okay? You get a new member that's coming into the gym, and what you want to do with the art of the ask and setting the stage is, hey, before you let them go, hey, before I let you go, I've got a favor to ask. We really believe in the difference that we make here, and we think we do it special. Our trainers are amazing. Our system is incredible. Our facility is top notch. And what we'd like to do is, once you have experienced this for yourself, and normally I do this with service businesses where I say, once we've delivered a 5-star experience for you, would it be okay to ask you for a review and referrals to other people that we can make a difference to? This is setting the stage. You're doing this at the beginning of the relationship. When I was in the mortgage business, I would say this, you're going to love the service I provide. I'm committed to providing a 5-star experience for you. Now, once I've done that and you've had this personal experience, would it be okay if I ask you for referrals later on? Now, Ken, you're not putting them on the spot, are you? Nope. So there's no pressure here. You're basically doubling down on your commitment to serve them, and you're committing to a 5-star experience, which is what every client and customer wants. That's setting the stage. Now, sometimes you're going to get referrals right at the beginning because they're going to be like, well, actually, Ken, my brother, sister, client, coworker, neighbor is looking for a great gym, or my workout buddy, so I'm going to bring them in. Awesome. Let's go. Let's go.
Absolutely.
But mostly, we're setting the stage for the future. You start serving that client, that customer, all the way through. In their mind, they're already aware that you're going to deliver a 5-star experience. But what you're listening to is step 2. You're listening for referral triggers. And the referral triggers sound like Thank you. Oh, Ken, I love this place. You guys are the best. This is amazing. You've helped me lose so much weight, feel so great. I've got so much energy. I've made so much money, saved so much time. Whatever benefit you deliver in your business, you're looking for that praise report. You want to hear wow. Like if you can manufacture wow in your business where somebody is like, wow, Ken, this is awesome. I love this place. Now, what happens is when you hear that referral trigger, man, they are in peak referral state. They're at the highest state possible. So now we're going to ASK and GET. We're going to ask in the right way at the right time. And it sounds like this. And Ken, I am so glad to hear you say that. Remember, we first started working together. I told you we were going to deliver a 5-star experience. And now that you've seen the difference that our business makes, I wonder if it'd be okay to ask you if you know anybody else that we can make a difference with and change their life like we've changed yours. You customize that for whatever your business is, but that's the art of the ask. You set the stage, you listen for the referral triggers, and then you ASK to GET. Make sense?
Absolutely. I love it. I'll give a little piece of the gym. I'm really good at this.
Yep.
And I think it works for other verticals as well. The first question that I ask is, how do you feel? I want them to, I want them to get into like as soon as it's done, like, how did that make you feel?
Yeah.
Bam. And then from there, I'm like, do you want to share that experience with anybody? And then I make them the giver, right? Here's some passes that you can share with your friend and make them the celebrity to pull in. And I think that is if you can make it passive for your staff, they will absolutely give people stuff. But it's hard to get them to ask for things sometimes. I agree with you. If you're the one doing the ask, pull up your britches and ask, because that's what we have to do as business people. But if you're talking about front desk staff or new people, construct a way that you can get them to give away your top of funnel thing. And that's your referral process, which has worked for me.
I love it, Ken. So we were going to talk about automating the asks. That's what you're talking about right now. The third one that I forgot for a second was referral rewards. Let's talk about both right now.
Yeah.
So if you've got a business and you want to automate the ask, create a gift certificate that your clients can give away to their people that they know, right? Give the gift of you is how I like to say it. And you can even create referral rewards, right? Like at your gym, you might give them a free month for every member that they bring in. Oh, okay. Well, that's going to save me $50 or whatever you charge at your gym, right? So now I'm not only wanting to make a difference for my buddy, I want them to all come here to my new clubhouse and hang out and work out together. And I'm going to get a reward for it. Man, now you're creating a culture of referrals. Now your front desk people, your associates, whatever you call them there, they're excited about it. And you're probably already doing this because you're a smart guy, clearly, right? Reward your people as they give that gift of referral and they bring somebody in. Reward them with $10, $25, whatever your lifetime client value is. You got to figure out how much you can reward the people that help you build your business.
Absolutely. And you reward them with money. That's how your employees want to be rewarded.
That's right.
It's just the way that it is.
You know what we've been doing lately is gift cards, which are the equivalent of cash, but we get partner businesses to give gift cards where they don't cost you money, or you can buy them for 50 cents on the dollar, for example, to restaurants, movie theaters, places where your people like to go. So now they're able to take out their girlfriend, their spouse, or whatever to a great dinner. And maybe it's $100 tab, but it only costs you 50.
Yeah. And those vacation packages are pretty cheap too, that you can get, which are awesome. Great for contests and stuff like that.
Yeah, we use Marketing Boost ourselves for that. They've got a great package. And like you say, I mean, 5 nights somewhere and it costs you a couple $100. I think
the key here is get creative and have fun with it. You spent a lot of time building your business and figuring out how to onboard new customers. Right. The flywheel effect of installing some kind of referral system, it can literally be the difference between bankruptcy and prosperous. It's huge.
It's huge. 84% of people trust recommendations from others over any other form of advertising, right? We're wired that way. 90% of humans say that they trust recommendations from other people, right? And so it's what works. We know it works in business to business sales. 84% of B2B sales start with a referral. because you got to get past the gatekeeper and get to the decision maker. That's why referrals are so important. And one last stat, when somebody's referred to you, they're 400% more likely to buy from you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we know it works, but most people don't work it because they don't really have a system. They've never been trained. So I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I was just meeting with the dean of the business school from Grand Canyon University. They're the third largest university here in Arizona. And he asked me to come speak to one of the classes, which was cool. And I said to him over lunch, I said, I got to tell you, man, I got a marketing degree. I went to Portland State University. And, in 4 years, I never once heard the word referral. I said, do you guys teach referrals at your school? And he's like, well, no, I don't think we do. I'm like, this is the most important way that most business people grow their businesses. And yet it's not taught at universities. People don't have this education. So unless you run into somebody like me that's decided to make this my passion and purpose, you don't have access to it. And so it is so important that people do this, to your point, Ken, and you know the power of it. It works when you work it.
College is only there to teach you how to learn. It's not there to teach you anything specific. So
I'm working on a partnership with them right now. We're working on actually creating our Raving Referrals course at Grand Canyon University.
Wonderful.
So I love GCU. I'm a big fan, just for the record.
Yeah, I believe college is school is to teach you how to learn. College is to teach you how to learn harder things. You're going to learn in whatever business you go into. That's where you're going to learn your skill and your trade, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. Overall, couldn't agree with you more. Like from my personal experience, I've got a daughter that's about to go to med school to be a neurosurgeon. I want her to go study at college. Like there are certain industries and professions where, man, they need to go study. But overall, like business, I learned more in business the first year out of school than 4 years in school.
Absolutely. A day in business, you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
What was one time that you asked for a referral and got a flat out no? And what did you learn from that rejection?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't think I've ever heard no, like flat out no, but I've heard, let me think about it, right? Yeah, let me think about it. And if I think of someone, I'll let you know. That's usually what I get. And so what that tells me is I haven't done a good enough job clarifying my perfect prospect, because when you communicate who it is that you serve and how you serve, you should create a picture in their mind. They should be thinking about somebody because you've so clearly defined them. I think the problem that most people have is I serve anyone, right? I mean, you as a gym owner, who do you serve, Ken?
I serve people that need mindset shifts.
Okay.
Like in reality, like overcoming challenging parts in their life.
Right. But so if I'm a referral partner or a client, I'm not sure what that means, right? Like as a business owner, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Divorce attorneys would be a great referral partner for me.
Okay.
AA is a great referral partner for me. Recovery groups are great referral partners for the gym.
I specialize in helping people transform their body, mind, and spirit.
Yeah.
Right. And when people are going through tough times, wow, we can help them create so much transformation, not just in their body, but in their being, right? We boost their confidence. We help them feel and achieve that inner atlas within, or whatever it is you say.
Outcome. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
man.
sell the outcome. You don't sell the service all day long. Right?
Well, and what I love about what you just said, Ken, too, is you're focused on the challenge, right? You're like, if somebody's going through divorce, we can help, right? If somebody's going through a major life challenge, because there's a lot of life events where people are forced to change their service providers, the people that help them, right? Like my wife and I and our family moved from Portland, Oregon to Phoenix, Arizona 11 years ago. I knew no one. All of a sudden I had to build a whole new ecosystem of people. And now we're on the lookout for different professionals to help us in different ways. So there's some natural life events that cause change. And, obviously going through divorce is a big one.
Absolutely. It's a challenging world. And it's just finding those spaces, right? Understanding what your outcome is, what you're actually selling, what outcome you're selling, not product or service that you're selling. That's where you can really start being creative about who you're going to reach out to and give discounts to, and how they're going to drive traffic to your business, right? Because it's all about driving traffic, right? Today, we don't
100%.
live in a world where you're driving just down the street and you see billboards. You're seeing billboards on your phone, on your computer, while you're at work, while you're listening to the Spotify or wherever. You're getting ads everywhere. So you got to grab that attention from somewhere. And if you can get it from the front desk person at the apartment complex, talking to and having that conversation, like, oh, this is where you need to go. then that's way more powerful than any billboard you could ever buy.
For sure. And I think it's about the challenges that you solve and the outcomes that you create. You're absolutely right. That's kind of the flip side of the coin, right? The
Yeah.
flip side of the coin. In my mind, I like to start with the challenge and then think about who's already helping people with that challenge. So the
Yeah.
flip side of the coin is because I create these results or solutions.
And in real estate, there's so many pieces that you can reach out to, right? On across the board, from
Oh, yeah.
drone operators, cleaning crews, construction companies, all of that stuff that you can reach out to and talk to about all these different parts of their business that touch the real estate world.
Bro, it's huge. I mean, that's what we do at HOA.com, right? We've created a referral partner platform and a co-marketing engine. So we help people cross promote each other. A certified pro, once they get approved, they have a profile on our website, but the profile is not only about them. It's also about we call it a trusted team, right? So again, if I'm a realtor, I might have my mortgage lender, home inspector, painter, plumber, HVAC. And so instead of that realtor being a lone wolf and building their business by themselves, what we do is we help them formalize their team. Now, realtors give out a ton of referrals and they don't get many back because they don't know how to ask. And so they just flood people with business and they've got all this referral equity that they've never tapped into. So we're like, how about you go formalize it? And it's so easy, Ken. I mean, the script that I teach is this. What if you called up the top 10 people that you've been giving referrals to? And you said, hey, Ken, the reason I wanted to connect is I realize I have a lot of clients who could use your services. So I'd love to get together. I'm building my trusted team of referral partners. And I'd love to meet up with you sometime and just talk about actually formalizing a referral partnership so that we can win more business together. How's that sound, Ken?
Yeah. Beautiful.
And then what we do is I mean, we've created the referral partner blueprint, right? So we've got this little guide and it's literally, there's a one sheet, there's 21 co-marketing campaigns that we teach are easy and mostly free ways that they can cross promote each other, right? And that way, as they're sending business, introducing, promoting their partners, it gives them great contact. And podcasts are one of them, Ken. This is one of the strategies that we teach, right? I mean, you're my 73rd podcast so far this year. And I love it. Thank you for inviting me on because I get to share what I love to share, make a difference out there in the world. And quite frankly, I don't care if people never come visit our site or be a part of what we're doing. I just want to make a difference to other people and help them change their lives. Now, if they like what they hear and they want to learn more and they want to help grow in their business, even better. But
Absolutely.
I love helping you get great content, add value to your people. You help me expose my message to the market. Total win-win. This is one of the things that we teach.
Podcasting is a huge, if you have a business, I think you need a podcast.
Yeah.
It's that simple.
Yeah.
Even if you have 200 or 300 listeners, I think in today's world, an audience of 1,000 can be a business, be a very profitable company. Brandon, what's one story you tell clients or audiences about someone whose life changed because they did or didn't build a referral system, something that sticks with you?
Ooh, okay. Let me think about that for a second. Something that did or didn't. Well, I mean, I know a lot of lone wolves. I call them Stan in a van or Chuck in a truck, right? Chuck in a truck is stuck because he's building his business by himself. He's trading time for money. If he's not out there serving somebody, he's not getting paid, right? So that's Chuck in a truck or Stan in the van. And I see it all the time because most people haven't created partnerships and systems. And so, they get to the end of their life. My father-in-law is one. His business is dependent on him. And now he's 81 years old. And, his company doesn't make money unless he's out there making money. And so there's a lot of people like that. I see other people, though, that have created powerful referral partnerships and they thrive, right? Because they're able to be the rainmaker. I see this a lot. I work in the real estate world a lot, as you can tell. And so the new concept in real estate is building teams of other real estate agents. When you build your business to a certain point and you've got the lead flow coming to you, then what you do is you hire junior agents that you mentor, you teach, you train, and you feed them the deals that you don't want to take, right? And so now you're cherry picking the luxury listings. And I see this play out all the time. You're taking the best deals that you want to actually work with those clients. Maybe they're family and friends or just your VIP clients. And then as you get other referrals, you're able to work with your junior team and really help them grow. But you're earning a great income off that, and that creates massive leverage. So I think people need to take that lesson from the real estate world and apply that to their business regardless. Think about your business and how can you create a team of people where your job as the business owner is to win the business. And then you've got other people that specialize in delivering the products and services.
Absolutely. I'm going to switch gears here for a little bit because
All right.
entrepreneurship is hard.
Yeah.
Authorship is very hard, putting yourself out there in a way that's raw and vulnerable. When somebody calls you the king of referrals, how does that land in your heart? What pressures or expectations come with that title that you don't share publicly?
Wow, that's a great question, Ken. I've never even been asked anything remotely close to that. So I love it. Thank you. You know, I was named the king of referrals on a magazine cover. So that's how the thing came to be. I've never once called myself the king of referrals, is the truth in your question, right? I don't say that about myself. I let the market say it about me. But to your point about what pressures come, I do feel a responsibility to deliver great content and to make a difference. And it's like we talked about earlier, the selling versus serving. I know that what I do makes a difference if people will take the action. Now, I know 80% of people, maybe more, aren't going to take the action. They're going to be like, yeah, that's really smart. I should do that. And then they don't freaking do it. And that's what I wish I could change. So the responsibility for me is, how do I chunk it down? How do I tell stories or give you frameworks like the art of the ask, where it's so simple, you're like, oh my God, I can do that today. I want to empower people with things that they can make a difference in their business today. Well, you can buy my book. That's great. You can watch the video course. Fantastic. But man, take that art of the ask, do that today. Call up your best referral partners today. I always talk about 3 groups of people. People I'm already getting referrals from. How can I deepen those relationships and win more business together? People I'm giving referrals to, same thing. How can I've been given to them? How do I get them to give back and reciprocate? And then back to that social sphere. Who do I know that is serving my perfect prospects, my ideal clients, but I've never gone to them and said, hey, let's sit down and talk about a referral partnership. When you focus on those 3, it makes a huge difference. So I'm here hoping to pass on some wisdom that people will take into action. That's the responsibility that I carry.
I love it. You said service over sales, and it's been kind of a mantra throughout the show.
Amen.
And I just want to touch on that for a second, because the conviction to stay with service over sales is a conviction that sometimes is hard to stick to, especially in business when you're struggling, you're first starting out and money's got to come to pay the bills. How do you keep the conviction to serve over sometimes knee-jerky, just getting the sale done so that you can get this month's mortgage paid?
Yeah, a great question, Ken. I think it's important. Obviously, if you're in survival, you got to do what you got to do to survive. Now, be in integrity always. But if you need to apply a little more psychological pressure to get somebody to say yes, that's okay. That's okay. Again, as long as you know that you're going to make a difference to them, you're going to help them and provide what they need. And that's what I'm talking about. It's an energetic shift is what it is. And I get being in survival mode, dude. Again, single dad, making $2,000 a month. I bounce my mortgage checks. I'm like, crap, man, I gotta change. Something's got to change or this is all going away. So I get being in survival mode. And when you're in desperation, when you feel desperate in your soul and your spirit, like it's dependent on that deal closing, I think your people can smell it. I think they can see it. The last thing you want to do is go, right?
It's
Last thing
so
you want to
bad.
do is pitch slap people. And I see this all the time, especially at networking events. Somebody starts pitch slapping me. I have no idea what they do, but they're like, here, take my card and call me. I'm like, dude, I don't know who
Yeah.
you are. Again, it's about who you are being, right? There's a mantra: be, do, have. It starts with your being. If you're being desperate, if you're being in survival mode, you're emanating that, you're transmitting those vibes, your vibe attracts your tribe. And so when you focus on, and maybe you just need to take a quick second, say a quick prayer. Okay, Lord, help me here, right? Help me to really serve this person in a way that's meaningful and is going to help my family.
Absolutely. Brandon, many entrepreneurs chase visibility, fancy launches, and paid ads. You chose to build your business through referrals and relationships. Was there a moment when you doubted that path, and what pushed you back?
Wow. I think every entrepreneur has experienced fear, uncertainty, at doubt.
FUD.
Daily FUD, dude. I think people deal with FUD daily, right? Until you finally get to that place. And even then, success is fleeting, right? Because now there's another goal to achieve, another hill to climb. So I think we all experience that on a regular. I listen to praise and worship music, quite frankly. Like, I'll just pipe it in if I'm not on a call, so that I'm just keeping that positive inspiration flowing and keeping the good vibes growing. So that's the best way, in my opinion, to get past fear, uncertainty, and doubt, is just, get guidance from whoever your source is. I call it God, but I don't know how it all works in the end, right? But for me, I go to prayer and then just focus on delivering the service I know is going to make a difference.
If you could go back to the version of yourself before raving referrals took off, when you were just the man with the dream and lean resources, what do you wish somebody had told you?
Wait, how long it takes? I mean, there's things that you can do immediately that'll create results immediately. But when you write a book, when you build a brand, for me, I wrote up on my whiteboard over here: book, signing party, podcast, summit, course, certified trainer, co-author, speaker trainer, strategy session, coaching, business services, inner circle, mastermind, profit partner matching, call center, appointment setting, co-marketing campaigns, community impact. So for me, this isn't a book. I got 20 different things I'm out to achieve with this book. And now it's not one book, it's 4 and soon to be 7. And what I did about 6 months ago is I looked over at my list on the wall, and I wrote the first book about 4 years ago. It launched on Veterans Day of 2021, 11/11/2021, 11:11 a.m. Fun fact. And I looked at my list and I started checking off the things that I had put into place over these last 4 years. And there's a green check mark next to every single one of them now. Now, it didn't start out that way. It started out as a vision, right? I'm like, okay, if I could dream this up anyway, I'd want it to be a book. I'd want it to reach masses. I'd want to have different titles for different people. I'd want to have other people teaching this curriculum in their local markets. And I'd want to attract all of the leads of all the people that came through those local classes. Then I'd like to give them a group coaching program and a video course and have a mastermind, and all the things that I dreamed about 4 or 5 years ago when I started creating this are now either in place or are coming in place. It takes time. If your dream is big enough and worth it, like, the bigger the dream, the longer it's going to take, and the bigger the team that you need. So just give yourself the space and the grace. The biggest thing that I've learned over the last year is the difference between the gap and the gain, right? When we're focused on the gap, which is what most of us alpha males focus on, is, man, I've got so far left to go. That's the gap. And when we're focusing on the gap, the energy that we feel is anxious, right? It's like, that's not the sweet stuff. When we look back and we focus on the gain, when I look at my list here on my whiteboard and I look at all the things that are in place now, that's fulfilling, right? That's freedom, because now I'm like, okay, I may not be everywhere I hope to be, but look how far I've come. And I think more people need to focus on the gain.
Yeah. I get excited about the new things that I get to do. I'm so excited that I'm 50 years old and I'd never have to look at a boring day for the rest of my life if I don't want to. And I think that's
Amen.
super exciting. And I get to make those rules, and it's a lot of fun.
Ken, what you
Brandon,
just
we're
talked
getting
about
toward
is
the
freedom. Freedom. That's what everyone wants, is freedom. You have built yourself a life of freedom. You get to do what you want, when you want, with whoever
Absolutely.
you want, right?
Generally speaking, yes.
Generally
Absolutely.
speaking. Well,
Generally
with limits, I
speaking.
get it. Yeah, man.
I still have a planet that I live on that has physics and rules. That is what it is. We're
Yeah.
getting towards the end of our time here, Brandon, and unfortunately we don't have an unlimited schedule that we could just hang out forever and talk about referrals and business.
All
If
good.
somebody wanted to work with you, first, can you describe who that ideal client is? Like, who are you looking to do work with right now? And
Yeah.
how would that person find you? Because we've got, just a lot of different people that like the show for different reasons. I think helping to, what are you currently working on? Who are you currently looking to form relationships with?
Oh, great question. Thank you. So best way to find me, reach me is go to brandonbarnum.com. That's kind of my landing page for who I am. You can get in touch with me, schedule a call, bring me on your podcast or show. So brandonbarnum.com is where to go for that. My main focus right now is HOA.com. We're building a platform that's going to revolutionize not only homeowner associations, and we've got an AI for HOAs that knows all the CCNR. Homeowners call and talk to our bot and are able to get their questions answered. It's amazing, saves time. More importantly than that, we're creating community connection events so that neighbors can get to know their neighbors and have fun events that create unity through community on a local level. So that's what I'm excited about. If you serve homeowners and you want more business, check out HOA.com. We're launching this at the beginning of 2026 nationally. So that's super exciting. The other project I'm working on right now is called Profit Partners. And we haven't launched it yet. It'll be launching maybe after this show goes live, although you're on StreamYard, so maybe we're already live, but we're going to be launching this in about 6 weeks. And here's what I know is most people don't have partnerships because they don't know what to do. I've gone to a lot of mastermind events. I'm in a couple groups right now. And normally when I go to a mastermind, a high ticket, high level, successful entrepreneur group, I got to go and I got to meet people and figure out who I should partner with and how I should partner. And so what we're doing at Profit Partners is 3 things that are very, very unique that I don't think have been done before. Number 1, we're curating partnerships. As we interview new members and we understand who they are and where the difference that they make and the markets that they're in and how they help and who they help, then we're helping to create profitable partnerships, not only introducing them, but also helping them coordinate co-marketing campaigns. So I mentioned earlier, we have 21 different ways that people can cross-promote. So we're actually helping them create JVs, strategic alliances, profitable partnerships, and then deploy them with each other so both people win. Okay, so that's number 1 is creating the partnership. Number 2 is deploying the co-marketing campaign. And the third benefit is we're creating their own board of advisors. So they'll come in once they apply, they have to apply and get approved to be a profit partner. It's pretty much invite only. But once they're approved, then what happens is they present their business in front of the board of advisors that we assemble for them. And based on what they're trying to accomplish and achieve and what they need help with, our advisors then give recommendations and also create partnerships with them. In many cases, our advisors end up becoming their profit partners because they're like, oh my gosh, Ken, that's amazing. I can send people to your gym all day long. I've got a list of clients and customers that are in that area of town that need to know about your gym. So that's what we're doing at Profit Partners. That'll be at profitpartners.us. We haven't launched the landing page for it yet, but
November 25, you're thinking for Profit Partners?
Yeah, 11/11/25.
11/11/25. If it's after 11/11/25, you like that 11/11. I like the 8/8. My final book's coming out on 8/8/28.
Oh, there you go. That's cool, man.
So-
I like 11/11 for 2 reasons. One, it's Veterans Day, and I freaking love our country, and I'm so grateful for the people that gave it all so that we could have it all. And I think our veterans are amazing and they're underappreciated often. I think a lot of people give lip service of thank you for your service, but they don't really do much to back it up. So I want to back it up. And then it's also my dating anniversary of my wife, who she and I are celebrating 28 years of marriage on Saturday.
Congratulations. That's
Thanks, bro.
28 years of marriage. That's a task that I've not been able to complete.
It's a life sentence. She's my wife for life. And, it's just how it is. And I love her. She's amazing. Amazing.
Brandon, Diary of a CEO is my favorite podcast. And Stephen asked a question at the end of ask his guest to write a question for the next guest. and I bought his deck of cards. So are you ready for your random question pool?
I hope so. Let's see what happens.
What would you do if you were absolutely weren't afraid? And this is from Whitney Wolf Hurd is the author of that question. What would you do if you absolutely were not afraid?
Right now, with what I am doing, fear much. But it's really about, the projects that I'm after. I would go ask more. I would go ask for more partnership, participation. Right now, I'm making my Dream 100 list for this book. I literally am highlighting some people that I want to feature and tell their stories in the Profit Partners book. And like John Maxwell, I want to go partner with John Maxwell. And I'm going to ask Mark Victor Hansen to make the introduction to John Maxwell because they're buddies for 40 years. So that's what it is. It's about asking for introductions and a capital for my company, right? To expand. If we have more capital, we grow further, faster. So it's about asking, and I teach asking, and I need to do it more myself.
Yeah, I think we're in a similar boat. I've overcome most of my fears in life, and I don't have a whole lot of them, but I can recognize some of my own patterns. And something that I do is I set, and I do it because I think I'm setting realistic expectations for myself.
Okay.
But what I have a very big problem of setting my timelines too far out. I could execute so much more, so much faster if I gave myself tighter timelines. And I think I give myself more space because I'm afraid of not getting there on time. So,
So maybe you just need to chunk it down, right? You got the big vision, and now you need to reverse engineer it and figure out how to get the first down before you go get the touchdown.
Possibly, or just be more aggressive and stop being a baby about my timelines. Who knows?
There
If
you
you're out
go.
there watching and you think about, what fear is stopping you from doing. And, if you can come up with something, we'd love to hear it in the comments.
Love it.
Brandon,
Ken,
thank you so much for your time.
This has been so awesome, and you've been such a great host. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you.
It's been a pleasure.